channel. I'm Rainy. This is Rainy Day Reads, and this is going to be a Flosstube vlog type of a situation. I am normally, in recent years and such, I have been a booktuber, and in the booktube community, we do a lot of vlogs, but I don't really do too many vlogs in the cross-stitch realm of my life. But this year, I have discovered Jen Lee from Quirks and Stitches, and she runs a periodic, I don't know what really her schedule is, 24 hours of cross stitch that is over like a 3-day period, which is really nice because I feel like she knows that some of us need sleep and breaks and things. So over a period of 3 days, you just try to get in 24 hours worth of cross stitching. So I had not participated in this before, but I just happened to have taken Friday off, and I will have a 3-day weekend coming up. So I decided I am just going to try to participate. And my plan is to try to touch all of my WIPs that I currently have, which for me is really not that many. I think I currently have 7 active WIPs, which for a normal floss tuber is probably not that many. So I think what that is going to mean for me is I'm going to try to split the next 3 days into a semi-equal amount of hours to try to give myself about an hour on each of my projects and set a timer. And for that hour, just stitch on that one project. And then when it's done, I'm going to spin a wheel. That I have one of those spin the wheel apps, I think is what it's called, spin the wheel. And it will pick my next WIP for me to stitch on for another hour. So I think that this will be kind of fun for me, because there are a couple of WIPs that I have not worked on in a very long time, and there's no reason for it. I like all my WIPs, but especially with one of my more recent projects, it's going to be a gift, and it is it's Minnie, a winning pet by Heaven and Earth Design. And so it's a Heaven and Earth design. It's a full coverage. Even though it's a mini, I still find it a pretty big piece. And it is going to take me every bit of a year to finish. And I have a goal of finishing it by the recipient's birthday next year, which is in May. So I have kind of calculated it out as to how many stitches I need to do a day. And because I don't always reach that goal, that number keeps ticking up. every so often I'm like, oh no, I can't even fathom reaching that in a day. So yeah, I just need to buckle down on that one, but that then means that I don't pay attention to my other WIPs that don't necessarily have deadlines to them. So yeah. So this will be kind of fun to get to pull out all of my WIPs and try them. So, and try to get, more than just a couple of stitches in over the next 3 days. So, yeah, let's just see how this goes, I guess. We'll see. I don't really have a plan for how I'm going to film this. So I guess you'll be surprised, as I will, on what I do. But hey, hopefully it works out. All right, let's go. Okay, friends, good morning. It is Friday at 10 a.m. and I am about to start my 24 hours of cross-stitch weekend. So this is what I'm going to start with. And I'm sorry that I'm not showing my face, but I've been doing sweaty outside stuff this morning and have not taken a shower yet. So you just get to look at the pretty cross stitch. So this is July 4th by Shannon Christine Designs. I had started it on July 1st as a SAL with my friends Sarah and Mandy. And I am not done with it yet. So I'm about 50% completed with it though. So I think for the first hour, I am going to continue working on the house. It goes out a little bit, and see how much I can get done in 1 hour. I will check in with you around 11 o'clock. Okay, let's get started. Hour 1 is complete. I basically filled in this window. Sorry for my awful looking nails. I have to fix those today. I finished filling in the window and I started the back wall of the house. So I only have about half of the house to go, and then the roof. Then I can move on to a different part of the pattern. So, but for now, it is time to spin the wheel and see which WIP I will work on for hour number 2. Okay, for hour number 2, I will be working on Walk Fast. Hopefully I put in the little video of me spinning my wheel and they came up with Walk Fast. This is probably the WIP that I have had the longest and is the most done. I think it's like 68% done, but that border and that fish are just slowing me down, I guess. So hopefully my plan for this weekend, or hopefully what will happen this weekend, is I will get the dark blue of the fish done and hopefully start filling it the rest of the way in. And then I'm not gonna work on the border though, I think, until I have all the insides done, because that way I can judge a little bit better so of where it goes and everything. So I am going to go throw in a load of laundry and maybe make some coffee, and then I will start hour 2. Okay, hour 2 is complete, and I worked in the dark blue of the fish like I said I was going to. So you might not be able to really tell that I got a lot done, but I think I was about here. So I worked over about 2 diamonds worth, like I kind of was doing an up and down kind of a situation. So I got 120 stitches in that hour. I had gone outside to sit on my deck, but it was way too hot and the sun was glaring too much on my Kindle to be able to look at Pattern Keeper. So that held me up a little bit, but I'm sure that this will come back into the rotation in the next 24 hours. So we'll just put it away and go back to it at another hour. Okay, on to hour 3. Okay, it's time to start hour 3. The wheel picked for me the Jane Eyre portrait by Mrs. Pagodi Art on Etsy. So I really have slacked on this one for a long time, and I'd really like to get a lot more of it completed. So let's see what I can get done in an hour right now. Okay, friends, hour 3 is complete, and I got 119 stitches in. I finished this little piece of green here and then started filling in some of this brown area. So making good progress on page 2 of this piece. So right now I am going to, I think, take a break because I have some laundry to fold, and I'm actually going over to my parents' for a bit tonight, so I'm going to pack up some of my projects to take over there so that I can continue doing it, doing this challenge while I'm there. So I probably will not show my face on camera tonight, actually. I think I will just pop on starting tomorrow to kind of talk about my thoughts, but I will continue updating you tonight on my progress. So well, while we're talking about it, let's go for a see what we're going to be doing for hour 4. Okay, so in this bag here is all of my WIPs and all of my floss that I need for said projects. So that seems a little crazy for one night at my parents who don't live that far away from me, but it is what I do for my craft. So my mother will look at me like I am a crazy person. But anyway, I am gonna go finish getting ready to go over to their house for dinner. And I will talk to you when I get beautiful things started and completed, I guess. Okay, friends, it is a couple hours later, so it is coming on 7 o'clock at night, but it is hour 4 for me of stitching, and I will be working on Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches. So let's see if I can maybe get that little bird head done down there in the next hour. I think I am going to end my first day of the 24 hours of cross stitch with my Slothmas. This is from the Tiny Modernist. So I will show you my progress in a clip after an hour, which will take me to about 10 o'clock at night. But then I think I will end it there and start back tomorrow. That will give me, 5 hours of stitching today, which really isn't that bad. But it's probably going to get a little too late for me to really focus on my Hades tonight, because those are the only 2 that haven't come up on my wheel today. And I'm thinking that's just going to be a lot for me at 10 o'clock at night. So I'll work on those tomorrow, but let's see how much I can get done on this little guy right now. Hello, friends. It is the start of day 2 of the 24 hours of cross stitch. And since I really didn't put my face on here at all yesterday and just showed you my projects as I went along, I thought that I would just put my face on here and kind of give you a wrap up of the first day. And I really enjoyed having like an hour for each project, and like being able to touch most of my WIPs. Now, I'm a person who, in the grand scheme of the Flosstube world, does not have a lot of WIPs. I think I have 7. 3 are bigger full coverage pieces, and the rest are, well, not smalls, but smaller, regular sized pieces that aren't full coverage. So I've been really focused on one of my Heaven and Earth Designs projects, which shockingly did not come up on the wheel yesterday. So I actually didn't touch either one of my bigger full coverage Heaven and Earth design projects yesterday, which is kind of a bummer, but I wanted to stick with what the wheel told me. And by the time it got to be like 10 o'clock, I was like, I don't even want to try to do these big full coverage shades. But because I've been so focused on that winning putt by Heaven and Earth Designs, because it's a gift and I'm trying to get it done by next May as like a birthday gift, I just haven't been putting in the time on my other projects that I feel like I should in order to get them done. So this has just been a really good help to kind of get me in, like, just to force me sort of to work on other projects, even if it's just for 100 stitches. And which I've noticed that for most of my projects, no matter what count fabric I was on or anything like that, I probably did about 125 to 150 stitches within each hour yesterday. So ultimately I got 6 hours, I believe, of stitching yesterday. And so I'm going to try for at least that amount today, if not more. I think my ultimate goal was 8 hours a day, because I don't know, somehow it worked out to 8 hours a day would be 24 hours. Yeah. Within the 3 days. So I might not make the 24 hours, but that's fine. As long as I get a good amount of stitching done this weekend, it's great. So today I am going to continue with the wheel, but I only have 2 projects left on the wheel at the moment. Mini Night Cafe by Heaven and Earth Designs and Winning Putt, which is the one I'm always focused on. So I just spun the wheel and Winning Putt came up. So I think I'm going to go for my like minimum number of stitches for a day for that one. So not just like do it for an hour, however long it takes me to get to 240 stitches, I think, is what my calculations tells me I have to do every day in order to get the whole piece done by my dad's birthday next year, which is, I don't get there most of the time. So I might be scrambling when next year comes to really focus on that, but that's okay. So today I think I'm going to start off with that one. I actually did a little bit on Slothmas this morning. So I've already kind of started from about 8:30 to 9:30. I worked on that one and got about 120 some stitches, I think, on Slothmas. So I've already started, but then I took a couple hours off to kind of get ready for the day. And so now I'm going to sit down and start Winning Putt. And I'm going to be participating in some reading sprints on my friend Krista's booktube. Well, it's in her Patreon. I am the patron of Krista from Books and Jams, her Patreon, and she is doing some reading sprints, which I am really bad about checking messages in Patreon. And so I just happened to see it this morning and I was like, oh, it's at 11 o'clock today. I'll have to participate. So, but because I want to stitch, I'm going to be listening to an audiobook. So I think I'm going to listen to the audiobook of Emma by Jane Austen. I started that, but I did absolutely no reading yesterday. So, and there's actually a 24-hour readathon going on this weekend that actually started at 8 o'clock last night. And I was just not in the mood to read at 8 o'clock last night. So I'm going to try to read a little bit more today, but I guess I'm not participating in the readathon because I'm just not focused on that. I'm focused on the cross-stitch aspect this weekend. So my nose is running. I'm sorry. Please hold. Okay, so sorry about that. But anyway, so I'm going to well, I'm not going to set a timer this time because I probably will take me longer than an hour to get the 240 stitches for winning putt, but I will do my normal and take a picture of where we are at, although I probably will not take it out of the Q-snap. So maybe I will actually take the picture. I will show you the picture that I took for Instagram the other day because I've been taking pictures of where I am periodically. Or maybe I'll just show you where I'm going to be working on in the Q-snap. Or not the Q-snap, I'm using a hoop. So anyway, I will take a picture of where I'm at and then I will show you again when I'm done. So you might see a little bit more of my face today because I kind of look a little bit better today than I did yesterday. I was having a very lazy day yesterday and did not feel like showing my face on camera. But yeah, let's get this day started and see how many hours I can get. All right, I'll talk to you probably tonight. Okay, bye. Okay, so you are probably not going to notice much of what I'm gonna do in the next hour, but I am going to work on this section up here because there is a fair amount of one color in the roof. So I feel like that's the best bet I have in getting a lot of stitches in. But you probably won't notice when I come back, but we'll see. So I'll be back in 240 stitches. Okay, I just thought I would check in after 100 stitches. So I did 100 stitches in this area, 104 to be exact. So I guess you can kind of tell that it's more filled in, so that's good. But I'm probably going to, it's 11:15 at the moment, so I think I'm doing reading sprints with a group. So I think I will eat lunch and listen to an audiobook, and then while they're doing the sprint, because I think that's what one of the other women is doing, and then I will continue this through to my next like 140 stitches that I need in this project. And then we'll move on to Mini Night Cafe because that is the last of my projects that I haven't touched yet this weekend. So, and I don't know how many stitches I'll do on that, but we shall see. So, but for now, lunchtime. Okay, friends, it is now about 2:45, so coming up here on 3 o'clock. I'm going to set a timer for an hour and see how many stitches I can get in Mini Night Cafe by Heaven and Earth Designs. I have not touched this one in quite a few months, probably. I had restarted this on my birthday in May because I just didn't like the fabric that I had been using. So now I'm using a 22 count hardanger, which in Michael's fabric was called 22 count Ada. It's very stiff, but it works well for this piece. So I was, before I restarted it, at 8%. Now I'm at about 3.5%. So I need to get working on this. I'm trying to maybe do a diagonal stitch pattern on this, at least for a little while. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, we are at 5 o'clock in the evening on Saturday. I have been working on this for about 2 hours, and I didn't even check. I got 200 stitches in, but actually those 200 stitches are going to be these half stitches, if you can see there. I started this 2 over 1 full crosses, and it's on 22 count Ada or hardanger. And I just like randomly decided I was going to start doing it on in the half stitches. It just seemed like it would go easier. And it wouldn't be quite as thick, and that's what well, Suki from the Brown Eyed Stitcher. She does not do 22 count that I know of, but she does do 10 stitch, and there have been some other people that I have been watching too that they have been doing it full crosses and then just were like, I'm gonna do half crosses now. So I was like, well, hey, if they can do it and if it's not that noticeable, then, you know, no big fault. Obviously right now down there is noticeable, but I've done it up here some in places too, and you can't tell. At least I don't think so, at least when you hold it back. So I think once it all gets filled in, you won't be able to tell. Now the black, I'm not so sure about, so I may be a rebel and continue full crosses with the black. We'll see, because I just cannot deal with the coverage of a like a half stitch in black with a white background. So we may just go into full crosses with the black, but we'll see. So anyway, I'm gonna take a break and eat some dinner, and then I think we'll go back into our rotation for the rest of the night, because it is getting pretty dark here. It was supposed to storm earlier today, or just a little bit ago, and it didn't really do that here, but it got like real kind of overcast, and I'm kind of having trouble seeing these tiny little stitches, so I might go back to something that is a slightly bigger count. So I will check back in with you later, hopefully. Friends, I'm starting to get real bad at this. I forgot to show you where we were at with the designs before I start on the next hour. So I've already started a little bit, but I only got like, I don't know, 6 stitches in. So it's still pretty much the same. So let's see how far we can get in an hour. Okay, hello. Today is actually Monday, I think the 25th of July. I actually did not film at all for Sunday, the last day of the 24 hours of cross stitch marathon. But that was intentional, sort of. I was going to, you know, just the same as I'd done the last couple of days. But then I thought, well, this video is already probably going to be kind of long, and I just figured I'd show my face one more time. I would show you the final products of my weekend. This will kind of end up being a little WIP parade because I basically touched all of my pieces this weekend. So yeah, I'll just try to tell you how much I did this weekend. I'm actually, it's Monday, I think I told you, and I have about a half an hour until I have to leave for work. So I'm trying to finish my coffee and show you these projects. So the chances of me like having the stats in my head is, well, it's no, because I didn't have time to look at it. But in editing, I will try to put up like how many stitches I put in on each project over the weekend. Because I kind of wanted that for myself just to see, but I wanted to be able to tell you, but that's not going to happen. So anyway, that's enough chatter because I gotta run through this. Let's get started. Okay, so the very first project that I worked on this weekend was July 4th by Shannon Christine Designs, and before I started this, I had the truck, the flag, the big firework, and the front of the house mainly done. And in the 3 days that we worked on this, I worked on this twice, I think. Let me look. Yes, I worked on this 2 of the 3 days. and I got, I don't know how many stitches, you'll see it below, but I got the door of the house, the window filled in on the front of the house, and the whole side panel or the whole side wall done. So yeah, I'm really happy with this progress. I wanted to get this done by the end of July, but I think I'm just going to continue a rotation. So this probably won't get done, but that's okay. The next WIP that I worked on was Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches, and this is as much as I got done. I worked on this also 2 days, I believe, and I worked on the bird. So I got all of his brown color filled in and some of the peach colors, but that is really all I got done on him. But it's moving along. It's got a lot to go still. I need to start putting in some more work on this consistently. So the one thing that I learned from this weekend is I do want to do a spin the wheel kind of, work on all of my projects consistently, kind of rotation to try to get progress in on everything. So that is going to be my plan going forward, I think. The next project that I'm just pulling out randomly is Mini Winning Putt by Heaven and Earth Designs. I worked on this 2 days of the 3 also, and I got a lot done. I will try in these, which you probably have already seen, I'll try to put in like where I started at the beginning of the month or beginning of the weekend. So you might not be able to tell how much I got done, but I did get a lot done. Okay, the next thing is, focus, Mini Night Cafe by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I put in a lot of stitches on this, but I started off with full crosses. Then I kind of decided I was going to try half crosses. So some of these are half crosses or tent stitch. I think that I might try that for a while, but the only thing is I hate black in tent stitch. So there's a lot of black on this. So that's the only thing that, like, I don't know if it'll focus, but like there's a splotch of black that I did in tent stitch, and you can like see all kinds of white through it. And then here's a bunch of black that I did in regular full crosses, and it looks a lot better. So I'm not really sure what to do. I'm considering just doing like the black in full crosses and the rest of it in tent stitch, but I don't know if that's stupid. But anyway, I got a lot done on it, and it's moving along. I might go back to full crosses. Who knows? But there's so much going on in this. I don't really think that you'll be able to tell in the end if I like kind of switch back and forth. And it's just this little corner. So if I decide in the end that the tent stitches aren't doing it for me, I'll go back to full crosses. It's just for me, so it's not for a gift or anything, so no big deal. The next project I worked on is Jane Eyre, a Portrait by Mrs. Pagodi Arts, and this is where I'm at currently. I think it's like 13% done on Pattern Keeper, and I'm almost the full way across the piece. But I need to get more work done on this. I've had this going since October of 2021. So I really need to get a move on it. I just stalled out on it. But I do really want to get it done because I would like to get it framed alongside its companion piece of Alice and the Flamingos by the same designer. And they will go side by side in some window box kind of things that I have. So I want to get it done. So that's why we're going to start a more intense rotation. The next piece I worked on is Walk Fast by Lindy Stitches. I didn't get as much work in as I would have liked to on this, but I worked on that big fish, the big herring. So it's just taking me a long time to work around all those little diamonds. So, but it's getting there. I'll be done with that before I know it, hopefully. And last but not least, we have the tiny little small that I have been working on called Mary Slothmiss by Tiny Modernist. He is so cute. I finally finished him. Well, I have to put on his little feet. I'm basically just using my own colors, my own stash colors, and trying to kind of match them up with what the pattern calls for. The pink, I believe, is actually what's called for. I think it's 605. And I had that in my stash, but this is a Threadworks color that I had from a Bird Crush Club pattern that I got with my pattern, but everything else is kind of my own colors. The face was supposed to be white, but because, and also the feet, but because I'm doing it on white, I figured the feet weren't going to show up at all, so I did ecru instead. But I'm not sure what all else. But there's some more stuff going on down here. So, but yeah, I'm really happy with the progress on that. And that, my friends, is all of my WIPs. Actually, all of my WIPs at the present time. And all of the progress from the 3 days of the 24 hours of cross stitch. I really, really enjoyed this. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy being able to have a dedicated like 3 days to just doing their cross stitch? I probably will have carpal tunnel now. Maybe not. I don't think so. But it's not like I did it for, what, 3 days straight. But I did take breaks and things. But it really helped me get excited about projects I hadn't picked up again. And it's making me want to do more of a rotation. I think what I'm going to do for that rotation is spin the wheel every day for a focus project, with the caveat that I still need to work on the winning putt pretty consistently, like hopefully every day, maybe in the evenings, because that just really needs to get done. So the wheel is going to be for my other project that I have to do. And that's also going to include some knitting projects that I have going, because there's one that is a gift, a baby gift, and then there's just my boxy sweater that just continues to just be a forever WIP because it's taking so long to do. Oh gosh, if I get done with that thing and it looks like a tent on me by the end of it, I'm gonna be real upset. But maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be too tight and then I'll be upset also. Because it shouldn't be tight, and yeah. So, oh well. But that's neither here nor there. That's knitting. You don't want to hear about that. So anyway, I'm very excited to continue with a more dedicated rotation now, and hopefully I can have some significant progress done. I think I'm going to try to, well, I have been like tracking every month, but I think I'll make pictures of like the beginning of the month where I'm at and at the end of the month where I'm at, and see how that goes. We'll see if that works. I don't know. But so anyway, I need to get to work. So this has been really fun. I hope you enjoyed seeing my progress. I might do more of these weekends every so often and maybe do a little vlog. Maybe even on weekends when Jen Lee is not doing it, I might just do it myself. We'll see. But yeah, I really enjoyed like every hour picking a new project. It was fun. So, all right, friends, I will talk to you in my next regular Flosstube video, which hopefully will be next week. I don't know what else I'm going to have to say because I basically pulled out all my projects already. But I have some haul, so there's that. But all right, friends, I will talk to you soon.